Welcome to this week's Hooking Up and Tracking Down Tip of the Week, and I'm going to talk to you today about markers, dyes. There's different types of dyes. This is a dye pen. I love a dye pen. I've gotten to where I just kind of stay away from the liquid bottles that you dip your bait into. You spill them in your boat. They make a huge mess if you spill them in your boat. It's hard to get that dye out. There is a neutralizer you can buy for dipping dyes that does work, and it does take the color out of the carpet. If you spilled chartreuse on your carpet, it will take the chartreuse out, and it really works great. The neutralizer does actually work. I like the pen because I don't have to worry about spilling it. It's cleaner, it's easier. I can take the cap off, mark my bait, put the cap back on, put it in my pocket, and it stays with me all day. One of the things I like to do with it, again, depending on if I'm certain times of the year, the brim will have a chartreuse tip on the very tip of their tail. And you can throw different colors that imitate crawfish, or that imitate brim, like a black emerald. Colored trickworm is one color that imitates brim, as well as June bug is another brim imitator. And you can take it and you can dye the tip of the worm a chartreuse color. I don't know if you'll be able to pick this up on the camera or not, especially with this particular worm, but it does turn it a chartreuse color. As you can see, the tip of that worm has a bright chartreuse, and when you really put it in the water, it really just explodes in the water. You can really see it really good in the water. And again, it looks just like the tip of the tail of a brim. So when the bass are feeding on brim and you're tipping the end of it with chartreuse, it makes a big difference in them thinking that's actually a brim. Now, another reason for using it is just for the help for the fish to see the bait. If it's muddy water you're fishing, orange. The orange is a great color for muddy water. You can tip the end of your, whether it's crawfish, whether it's, here's a crawfish imitator right here that I use a lot. This is called a rage tail, and you can actually take the rage tail and tip the tips of it in orange, like so. And then when you drop it in the water, these really stand out. And again, it doesn't stand out as well on camera as it will as when you drop it in the water. For some reason, when it hits the water, that fluorescent orange and this fluorescent chartreuse just absolutely just pops. And it really makes a big difference. A good example, during the fall time of year, especially on Red River, I was fishing a tournament recently, and when I went to get my fish out of the live well, there were some crawfish that had been thrown up by the bass into my live well. Well, I picked them up. They were almost this color, green pumpkin. It's a green pumpkin color. And they had a little bit of orange or red on the tip of their pinchers, just like I just dyed this pincher right here. So when I throw this bait out into Red River during the fall time of year, they think that's just like what they're feeding on. Again, it's called matching the hatch. I'm imitating what the fish are feeding on, and this is why I use the orange dye marker to mark the tip of the pinchers, because that's what they are. That's what they have on their pinchers at that time of the year. Different times of the year, of course, crawfish change color. Sometimes they'll be dark black with red specks on them. That's when probably the #1 color I like to throw on Red River comes in handy. It's called black neon. Black neon, you just cannot, not just Red River, but just about anywhere, especially these area lakes and waterways, all the cypress tree lakes. Black neon, which is a black with red flake bait, is an outstanding bait for these area waterways, because our water here is not real clear, but it's not real muddy either, especially when you haven't had a lot of rain. But so the lakes here are fairly just what you call dingy. This is an outstanding color. I don't care if the sun's shining or if it's cloudy, black neon you cannot go wrong with. But, so again, today, the dye. Don't be afraid to experiment with your dye pen. Use it. You can use it on trailers for spinnerbait. You can use it on your trailers for jigs. If you just want to throw a straight crawl worm, use it. You can use the dip and dye, dip the pinchers in, pull it out. It's dyed, ready to go. You're ready to start fishing. That's this week's Hooking Up and Tracking Down Tip of the Week.